Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2. And good Sunday morning. Welcome to Poppy's Workshop and what's on the workbench and on the scroll saw. It's been a while since I have been broadcasting a live stream. Really, I have been not only burned out by the heat, but just burned out, period. You know, I'm up at 2:30 in the morning, and I'm in work by 5:15-ish, 5:30, put in a full day, and then of course, you know, I head into the workshop. I was working on some Christmas stuff and some other older stuff. I'm trying to clear out projects that I just have not finished, and they were rather difficult, and we'll talk about them. Or actually, really, one was the difficult one that just mentally and emotionally just kind of broke me. That's really no other way to say it. I couldn't even get doing simple toys or anything like that. Just absolutely zero motivation, unfortunately. So what I'd like to do is show you a few things that are on the workbench right now. Then we'll switch over to the scroll saw, figure out what we're working on over there. So let's first talk about this one. This is the infamous Resurrection Cross. Let me get it so the whole thing in here. And when I originally started this, it was a triple stack, and that was the mistake. This piece that I'm holding right now is 1/2 inch. So what I was doing is I did a half, and a quarter, but the stupid thing that I did is I used different species of wood. So you have different grain structure, different hardness, Janka scores, just a lot of things. And what it did is it caused my my blades not only to break, and I very rarely ever break a blade, trying to thread it through, even though it's 3/4 of an inch total, because it was such thin holes, I would bend the blade. So that was a problem. This is mahogany, finished in raw linseed oil, and you can't see it, but there's some really nice reddish and gold tones in it. I'm trying to see some of the marks. Did these drop or something? Huh. I got a few marks in this, unfortunately, but yeah, I mean, it came out nice. Only Jesus's face was the problematic one, but this, again, was the infamous. So I have some half-finished that I had stripped off the other 2 layers, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I think it would be very difficult for me to lay another stencil on top of them because I've already cut them. Maybe I can. I may look at doing that, but that's a long time from now, to be quite honest. So, yeah. So we finally got at least one done. I had plans for these. I had started this back in January or February, you know, hoping to get it done before Easter, of course, and failed miserably at that. All right, so moving on. So what I tried to do when I got back into the shop is try and get some victories, I guess is the only thing that I can say. I did actually 2 of these. I did a double stack made out of mahogany, and this is one like I did last year out of what was it? Monkey? Canary wood. I don't know why I think monkey, but this was a double stack, and it has a forced hole in the back. And what I also did is I added another piece here to strengthen the base, because as you can see, the base is very thin here. So I decided to strengthen it a little bit and just make it a little bit better. And let's get to the underside here. So of course, when I do my artistic work, I use that logo. And of course, there is the Poppy's Workshop logo. I had one burned here somewhere, I don't know where it is. But anyway, this is the birth of Jesus, the story of the birth of Jesus, in the Christmas tree. And one of my supporters had asked for one. And in actuality, she is the daughter of my high school drafting, architecture, and design teacher. It's a long time ago, I graduated I forgot how long ago 44 years ago. Wow, yeah, 44 years ago I graduated. And that teacher passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. I wish I had a chance to show him some of my stuff. Him and the shop teacher, they were best friends, and they had their classrooms right next door to each other. So I have two of these, and the other one, what I'm probably going to do is put it in the NATO Christmas Bazaar, where they are raising money for orphanages. I don't know if they pick one or a couple in Eastern Europe, but they raise funds every year for the orphanages. So I figure I'm going to put this on one or two tables. Each of the nations generally have a table, if they want. It's the wives of the, I should say the spouses, but usually it's the wives of the foreign officers at NATO in the United States. They're stationed there for 3 years. And, this is something that the wives do every Christmas. They have food. So, for example, a particular country will set up a table. They'll have crafts, sometimes food, pastry, snacks, whatever it is that is quintessential to their own nation. So you can go to each table, sample different goods, buy different goods, whether it's crafts, whether it's food, and you can get a little piece of Europe, which is really nice, and of course the benefit of raising the money. So, like I said, that one goes to a supporter, another one will go to the Christmas Bazaar. And then I needed another victory. This is very intricate. This takes a while. It is emotionally and mentally draining to do that. That's why, I don't think I'll do another one next year. Maybe every few years or so I'll take a few. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Now, again, that's mahogany. This here, let's see, let me get that a little bit closer. I don't know if you can see it in this light. But this here is bloodwood, and I think that's appropriate for a tree of life, as you can see, a tree of life with two birds that morphs into all these hearts. So this too, I'm still debating whether this is my shoulder straps of my coverall. No wait, overall. I forgot what these say. My schmuck. Yeah, my apron keeps falling down. I gotta tighten this thing up. It's a new one. Not as it's as thick, but it doesn't have the wax on it, so it's nice and flexible. So this actually, though it looks complicated, is actually quite easy to do. You've got to be careful over here because you do have the very thin cuts, but that's what really makes this special, is the thin cuts. And what I did on this is I used, let me think, I'm trying to remember the blades that I used. I know I used a 7 ultra reverse on the outside. I think I used number 5 for the larger cuts, and then here I used number 3. I think realistically I could have done this entirely with a number 5 blade. Actually, no, I think I used a number 7 inside. 7, 5s, and 3s, definitely. I think the 3s were these, now that I think about it, because I'm thinking about the heat. Is the Janka score on this, I believe, is like 19, is it 29? Wait a second. I forgot. I think it's 2,900. And I was going through blades about every 15 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes, because the heat builds up. And in reality, heat is the enemy, not necessarily, well, it's the friction too that dulls the blade, but the heat, you lose the tempering so that the blade will start to drift more. So that means you're constantly trying to adjust so then your cuts are not smooth. Like I go in here and I can feel just a very small correction. And when I pop a piece out, I'm constantly rubbing the pieces that come out because I'm thinking about my technique and trying to get the smoothest lines possible. Like when I go on the outside here, I feel just a couple corrections, nothing here, nothing here. So I was very good here. This is where the blade was really sharp. And eyes. But I'm also using my ears, even though most of the time I have music in it. But sometimes I'll pop the headphone off a little bit so that I can hear if the blade is chattering, the wood is chattering, or anything like that. That tells me a story. I'll look at the blade, see if the blade is starting to turn color, blackish blue because of the heat, and then also the feel. The feel while you're actually cutting itself, how hard you're feeding the wood, whether you have to speed up or slow down the blade. There are people who just crank it up to full speed ahead, and that's how they cut. That's fine. I'm an adjuster, and I'll show you on a piece that I'm working, even this piece back here, as I slow the blade way down, especially if I'm doing a single cut. This was another double stack, by the way. So speaking of that, this piece will fall apart because it's not glued. So here is another winter seed. It's a happy seed. As you can see, there we go. And this was cut, I believe, with a number 3 blade. Again, Flying Dutchman. Oh, let me show you the sides. Here we go. And actually, if you look at that, I believe that is supposed to be the Star of Bethlehem at the top and the representation of the creche that Jesus was born in. I think I see it. I'm not sure. When I look at it, I'm like, well, that's kind of unusual. I wonder. So, let's see. I'm going to tighten these shoulder straps up. Good heavens. Oh, I'm trying to see. So, the idea here is, let me see if I have one handy dandy. Hold on for a second here. I have different tea lights. And right now, actually today, I've got some pink ones coming in. I cannot reveal what I'm working on at the moment. I'm sworn to see it say. So here is one of the tea lights. Let's see if I can. I got light coming in through the window. I prefer the white ones, but I have blue and pink, so that gives you a hint as to something I'm working on. And of course, with the little Forstner bit, it goes behind, so it stays. And I'm debating what I may do is put a couple of them, maybe even different colors here, to illuminate from behind. Or, if you remember the Christmas 3-layer that I did last year, I have a string of what do you want to call it? Fairy lights? LED fairy lights? Let me, wait a second, I'm trying to reach over. This is the one thing I don't like about the 30-inch Pegasus, is to get to the back is a long reach. And I was just turning something on for when we switch over to the other camera. Ah, I'm making a mess here, son of a gun, I broke something. Okay. Yeah, I'm out of practice here. I'm tired, and as I said, you know, I'm just kind of a little bit out of sorts. I'm trying to get there. All right, so I think that shows you what is on the finished workbench. All of these, well, except for this, I still have to glue this up and then linseed oil finish it. As I said, I've got 2 of these. Yesterday I cut the base out, just a simple router edge on it, give a very clean look. So I just try to keep that as simple as possible. And let's see, I think that about does it on the workbench. Let's switch over to the scroll saw. Okay, so actually you can see a little bit. Here are the fairy lights. I have them going down the spout and up the side of my table here, and I've got the camera really close. I think I may have to do some adjusting here. So let me do this. Let me switch over back to the workbench. That way you don't have to witness all the moving around that is going. Camera around. You have to pardon me. Try to focus on what the heck I'm doing here. There we go. I think I'm just about there. Okay. Oops. Yep, I think I got it. All right, let's go back to the scroll saw. Here, oh, I gotta get this closer, so there we go, now you can see. I've been already working on this. This is the first layer of a Christmas scene that I'm working on. There we go. And most of it is, so far I've done with a number 3 blade. I am now switching to a number 1. Actually, some of these were done with a number 1 spiral. I was just seeing how that works, and it was okay. Now I'm only doing a single on this. Oh, come on. There we go. 1/4 inch walnut. So that is the first layer. Now let me show you. The second layer. Let me get that closer. There we go. You see, I've already drilled out all the holes, and there are a lot of them. So that is the second layer. And I'm going to leave that here. And then the easy one, and I'm debating how I'm going to do this. So this is the back layer, with just the trees behind it. So let's see if we can picture this a little bit. We'll have that. Yeah, you can't really picture them. That'll go in front, and then the snowman and all that other stuff will go in front of that. Now, what I'm thinking here, and that's why I drilled 2 holes here to start it as an inside cut. I don't know why, I really don't have to, but I just wanted to start at a logical and finish at a logical place. Um, I'm thinking of using a spiral blade for this, but again, I am a purist when it comes to sharp, clean lines. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to just say the heck with it, start here, and use a number 1, and just spin this thing like crazy, and do that. I think the number 1 will be pretty good, because again, I want that smooth finish that I'm used to, known for, if you want to call it as such. Yeah. All right.